So we're going to start standing up today for our session. So you just come to the top of your mat or whatever it is that you're on. And then we'll take a feet hip distance apart and then take a nice bend into the knees. I'll just pop you guys on mute as well. Lovely. Yeah, so begin top of the mat, feet hip distance, take a bend into the legs, and you're just going to catch hold of opposite elbows. So straight away, we're going to get into our hamstrings, but just be nice and gentle in this first position. So when we take our legs and when we bend them, we want to drop our belly down towards our thighs, and then just let the head, let the arms, shoulders all dangle down, nice and heavy. From here, you might automatically notice that the body's going to rock forward and back, side to side. It doesn't matter how bent your legs have to be to get that belly to thigh connection. Just going to dangle here for a few breaths. If you feel like you can, start to straighten out the legs slightly, straighten them out. But if you're all good where you are, then just enjoy these nice little sways. Left to right, forward and back. Just taking a couple more breaths. And then reaching the left hand down towards the floor. So fingertips on the mat. Bend the legs as much as you need to get the left hand down. Right arm is going to reach up to the sky for a nice twist. And then straighten out that right leg only. Keep the left leg bent. If you want more of a twist, take your right hand and wrap it all the way around the back. Maybe you can catch hold of the left hip or the left thigh. And then with the head, I want you to lean back. Look up towards the ceiling. Nice little twist, but also feeling it on that right leg. Just holding it here for a few breaths. So we're going to take some nice standing poses to begin today, and then towards the end of the class, we'll take a nice little chill. Then release, opposite side, right hand down. Bend into both of the legs. Left hand up to the sky and twist. And then straighten out your left leg. So right leg bent, left leg straight. Maybe you wrap the arm around the back. Find the hip or the thigh. And then lean the head back. And then release, come back into that forward fold, bend into both the legs, belly to thigh, interlacing the fingers behind the back for a nice little shoulder stretch. If you can, straighten out the arms, doesn't matter whether the hands rest on the back, or if it feels good for you, take the arms up and over. So just holding it in this position for a few breaths, squeezing the shoulder blades together, really gripping the hands so they don't move. And then start to bend into alternate legs. So left shoulder to left knee. And then over right shoulder to right knee. So as if you're pedaling out the legs, going from one side to the other. The shoulder taps down to knee. Just take a couple more rounds. And then release. Drop the hand to the floor, curling the spine all the way up to standing. Bringing the head all the way up. Keeping the feet where they are, reach the hands up to the sky, look towards the thumbs. And then take a forward fold, drop the hands down onto the floor. Hands onto the shins, flatten the back, and you're going to hold it here. So in this position, I'll move back so you can see, legs are really, really straight. Hands are above the knee or below the knee, just not on the knee. Eyes go forward, flat back, and then you're just going to see if the body wants to rock forward and back. You'll notice when you rock forwards, hamstrings scream just that little bit more. And then dropping the hands down to the mat, step your right leg back, come into a runner's lunge. So back knee is going to stay up off the floor, and then fingertips either side of that front foot. So as if you want to let the hips drop down, but then eyes go forwards, lift the chest. Making sure those back toes are tucked under. And you can be a little bit lazy in this pose. You can let that knee drop and hang close to the floor, or you can squeeze the back quad and lift it up. Holding it here. Take 3 more breaths. And then drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Option 1, you're going to straighten that front leg and flex into the foot. So a half split. We've done it a bunch of times. This could be you. Option 2, you're going to sit on that right heel. And then wherever you are in option 1 or option 2, you're going to take a forward fold over that left leg. So tapping into your left hamstring. Try and avoid that rounding of the back, because you don't actually get to feel much in the hamstring if you round. You'll feel a little bit more if you keep the back nice and flat. When you're ready, take the body forward and we'll step back into our downward facing dog. Hands on the floor, feet step back, and then bring the ears in between the armpits. So in your downward facing dog, you want a nice flat back. Maybe you bend the knees. If your hamstrings are super tight, and really be true to yourself. If they are tight, bend the knees. If they feel pretty long and flexible, straighten out the legs. And just hold it there for 2. For 1. Eyes towards the top of the mat, walking the feet forwards all the way to the top. This time, bringing the big toes together to touch. You're going to drop down into a little squat. So the heels are lifted and you're on the balls of the feet. So just get your balance here. It's a nice little toe stretch. If it is too intense, you could always drop the heels and lift up. But if you're good with me in your toe stretch, go down. And then twist the arms over to the right. So it's if you're crossing your left arm over your right leg, and then eyes over the back right shoulder. Bring it back through center, go straight over to the left side. Right arm crosses over left leg, and then twist. So you want to keep those knees through center as much as you can. Arm pushes into leg, leg pushes into arm, and then eyes over the back shoulder. Then release. Take your forward fold. Again, we'll take the feet hip distance apart. Bend into the legs, catch hold of opposite elbows, and then ragdoll the body from left to right. Letting the arms reach all the way up to the sky. Big breath in. And then forward fold, hands down to the mat. Halfway lift, straighten the legs, flatten the back. Hold that halfway lift again. So option 1, you stay here with the support of the hands on the legs. Option 2, you take your arms out to the side. Those of you who want that extra challenge, reach the fingertips forward. Biceps come right by the ears. Nice straight legs. Top of the body weight forward, right into the toes. If it's too much, hands on legs. We all want luscious long hamstrings, no? Last breath. Drop the hands down, step your left leg back, runner's lunge. So runner's lunge is with back knee off the floor. Fingertips either side of the front foot. And then lift the chest, eyes go forwards. So just like the other side, we're gonna stay here for a few breaths. And then dropping the back knee down, untuck the toes, hands on the waist, come into your half splits. Or if you feel comfortable, drop the sit bones down onto that left heel like a cushion. Wherever you are, take a forward fold over your right leg. And the more flexed, the more active the right foot is, the deeper the stretch. And then release, step it forward, coming into your downward facing dog. Right foot steps back, ears in between the arms, and then look in between the legs. Letting the eyes go towards the top of the mat, walk the feet forward. Big toes are going to come together to touch. This time, keep the heels on the floor, bend into the knees, palms come together in prayer. So you're in a chair pose. Keep the knees pointing forward. Left elbow is going to cross over your right thigh. So it's a nice little twist. I'll show you front on, knees forward, left elbow over right, and then lean the head back. Watch out for those lazy little chicken wing arms that kind of come together in a really Catholic schoolgirl prayer. You want to take the elbows out nice and wide so it's super strong, and lean the head back. And then release, straight over to the opposite side. Right elbow goes over the left. Hook the elbow over as much as you can. Elbow into leg, leg pushes back into the elbow. And then release. Just take a forward fold. Curl in the spine all the way up to standing. So last little bit of standing work. Taking the legs out, come a little bit wider than hip distance, and having the toes in, heels out. So we want to work, I'm going to do it this side so you can see the hamstrings. We want to focus on keeping the legs straight and then finding a nice 90-degree angle with the back. So with the legs wide, take a big breath in. And then keep the hands on the waist. Just allow the chest and the spine to come parallel to the floor. So this might be a lot for you. If it is, by all means, rest the hands on the legs, above or below the knee, not on the knee. Eyes go forward. For those of you who want a little bit more, again, take the arms out to the side. Maybe you can reach those arms forward. Watch out for the bum leaning back. See if you can bring it forward. So you should be squeezing into the tips of the toes. Let's take one more breath. And then rise all the way up. Lovely. Keeping your feet out to the sides, but turn the toes out and bring the heels in. We're going to drop down into a little squat position. So knees go out to the side, palms together. If you feel like you can wiggle the toes in a little and maybe go all the way down, so full yogi squat, that's what it's called. Hands together, elbows into the knees. And don't worry if you can't do this pose. I definitely think it's something that is genetic. You've got the space in your hips or you don't. So if you are up here, still push the knees out with the arms. You'll still get a nice stretch. Just keep it there for 2. For 1. And wherever you are, as elegantly as possible, you're going to come all the way down onto your sit bones. Extending out your left leg. So option 1 is to take the right foot, the sole into the thigh. If you can, flick that foot around so it's behind you. But wherever you are, you're going to get a nice 90-degree angle with the thighs. If your foot's behind you, make sure the top of the foot is on the floor. Left hand is going to catch the right thigh, and then right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. If you've got that length in your side body, you might even be able to take the arm all the way up and over. Bicep comes by the ear, and you look up to the sky. Keep a nice hold of that right thigh so it's stuck. It's not moving anywhere. You're using it to bring the left shoulder under. Just take one more breath. And then release. So wherever you are with that back leg, you're going to square your torso through the center of both of the legs and then take a forward fold. Keep that left foot, that left leg super active. So your fold can be hands on floor, maybe forearms, maybe you're walking the hands further forward if you're super flexy. But wherever you are, just take a nice little lean of the belly, of the chest, over in this diagonal direction, like a 2 o'clock direction. And then release, walk the hands up, bringing that right leg back if it's out, and then switching sides. So extend the right, bend into your left. So find that nice 90-degree angle, whichever way you want to pivot the back leg. Right hand on left thigh, left arm reaches up and over. So a nice side body stretch on the left side. And then come all the way up, squaring yourself in between both of the thighs, walk the fingertips forward, take a little fold. If upright is enough for you, stay upright. And then coming all the way back up, swing the left leg out and just give both of the legs a nice little shake, squeeze, massage, whatever feels good. So bend it into your left leg, place the left foot on the floor, have the hands behind you for support. Take your right leg, you're going to cross it over in a figure 4 shape. So it's like you've got space in between the legs. So make sure right ankle is over, and then just have the hands onto the earth. If this is too intense, extend that left leg out. If you feel all good in this figure 4 shape, keep squeezing that left leg in. Maybe you push the hands behind you and then push the chest forward. So it's just similar to what we do lying down on our backs when we catch our leg. But we are upright. Holding it there for a few breaths. The most important thing is to keep the right foot nice and active. And then not physically moving the right knee, but imagine pushing that right knee away from the body. So if you haven't already, flip your hands so your fingertips point towards your body. So option one, you can stay here. Those of you who want a little bit of a challenge, you can lift the sit bones off the floor. Let the bum hover, rock forward and back. Or final option is to then lift the hips and then lean the head back. And then you're just going to hold it in stillness for 2, for 1. If you're up, come all the way down. Extend the left leg out. Sorry, I've got really dark leggings on, so you can't see. But extend the left leg out with that right leg. We're now going to cross it over our left. So bring it over as close as you can. Imagine you wanted to get knees stacked on top of knees. If that's not working for you and you are here, then don't worry about it. Stay there. If you can, squeeze it in. And wherever you are, you're just going to take a little forward fold over that top right leg. So hopefully you should feel it just by the right IT band. If not, then see if you can get that right leg more over so knees are stacked one on top of the other. Left leg stays nice and straight. Wherever you are, lift up. Keep the legs exactly where they are. You're just going to take a twist over to the right. So cross the left arm over, catch the right thigh, and then eyes over your right shoulder. And then release back through center. Switching legs, bending that right leg, coming into your figure 4 shape, left leg crosses over right. Actively then push the left knee away, and it's going to feel different each side. I know I'm a lot less flexible this side, so right leg has to go a little further away. But push the hands into the floor, push the knee away, and flex into the left foot. And those of you who haven't already, flip the hands round so fingertips point forwards. Option to stay, option to lift. Just a couple of inches if you got the strength, you got the space, then lift the hips up all the way, let the head drop back. So it's an awesome shoulder stretch as well. And then just hold it for a couple of breaths. And then release. Extend your right leg out fully. Take that left leg, leave it where it is if that's enough. Or if you can, bring it all the way over. Tuck the foot in. Stay in there and then take a forward fold over that top left leg. And then release. Extend the leg, give it a little wiggle. And then we'll come into a really relaxed butterfly pose. So soles of the feet come together. Normal butterfly, we'll bring our feet right up to our body. This one, just let them hang way, a little bit further away. Then if you can, catch all of the shins or the feet And then we're going to round into our back, tuck the chin towards the chest, and then hold it here. I like to wrap my fingers around my toes. Normally it's just because they're a little cold, but it's also a good place to rest the hands, elbows out in front, and then let the head drop. So we're going to hold this here for at least a minute. So definitely take time to get comfy. And then you're just going to breathe, whether it's in and out to the nose or you open the mouth. Your breaths are going to try and be a little bit longer than your normal subconscious breathing. And then just rising all the way up. Extend both of the legs out to the side, so go nice and long. And then you're just going to do the exact same thing, round into the back. Let the hands, let the elbows or forearms drop to the floor. Tuck the chin to the chest. If you do want it a little bit more active, you can walk the hands forward. I'm just holding our last pose here again for about a minute. You don't need to flex into the feet. You can just let them fully relax. And then walking the hands all the way back up, crossing the legs, coming into a seated position. Just let the hands rest on the thighs or on the knees. And then take the shoulders back and down. So chest is tall, spine is long, shoulders are super relaxed. Closing the eyes if it feels comfortable, or let the eyes go forward but slightly up. And then just take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Big sigh out of the mouth. Last one, inhale. And sigh it out, exhale. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys have been awesome. Namaste.